Okay. So, hi Pawan.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Okay. So let me share my screen and we'll begin from where we had left out. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Vinay is not there, and I think a recording will be available so that he can take a look.
Yeah, okay, sir.
I think he has also joined. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. In the last class, okay. So just to give a, little overview on last what we covered, so that we can start. Okay. So till now, I think we had covered the important part of the data science was we learned about the Python programming, and then we started with the additional library what we need for data science. That is mainly on this NumPy. Then we looked into this pandas. Then next level is that we started trying to understand on a visualization libraries. Okay, so for this visualization, so there are two important libraries what we need. One is the matplotlib and one more is the seaborn. Okay, and we were discussing in the last session was on mainly on the date matplotlib, and I was supposed to give one important case study on this. Then I wanted to start with the seaborn. So till up to this much we had gone through. Okay, and but fine. Now let's begin with this. But just to recap this, so mainly the visualization. The Actually it's a process of why you need this visualization mainly because it is mainly for finding the kind of trends and the correlation in our data, like what we are going to uh, the analyze it. Okay, so we need to find out certain what the trend exists in the data and what kind of correlation exists in our data, and representing it pictorially. Okay, in the form of graphs or charts, where when we try to represent it pictorially, we'll be able to understand what kind of trend and correlation exist. Okay, so that will give the overview of our data. So using that the mainly the clues whatever we get it on the data set as a high level, then we can proceed with our the pure analysis. Okay, for our the decided problem or the decided the statement on which we are going to work. Okay, so this is the beginning thing where visualization plays a very important role. And in the visualization technique, mainly what we covered was the line charts. Then then line charts, we looked into the bar graphs. Again, in the bar graphs we had horizontal and the vertical. Okay, then we looked into the histograms. Okay, and then what we saw histograms, and then we were looking into the pie charts also. Okay, pie charts. So these are the variations of the different kind of visualization, but their objectives are different, and based on our the kind of the analysis which we want to work on, so we should be abruptly using the kind of techniques what would exist for a visualization. Okay, so again we have one more like scatter plots also. Okay, and again we have the box plots, then we have the heat map. Okay, so these are some of the few things which we come across when the visualization we want to study on. And now I want to begin with the case study on this the for the matplotlib. Okay, so then we'll get into the seaborn. Again, if you are very much love towards the coding, actually, you can go with the matplotlib. Otherwise, you start working on the seaborn because Seaborn is pretty more easy, and this mainly we use it for statistical analysis. And this Matplotlib doesn't do much on the statistics, but Seaborn is mainly on the statistics. Again, it has got its own intelligence inside in the library, so it can give a lot of features out on top of the matplotlib. Okay, so but it's good that if you know the matplotlib and try to understand and how we can represent the data pictorially, then on top of that seaborn it has become very much easy for you. Like if you can understand the difficulties of matplotlib with respect to the coding, but seaborn it will be more easy for you. Okay, so work on both the libraries. Once you make your hands dirty, I think you'll be able to explore more. Okay, so let's go to the my IPython notebook. Okay, let me go to the IPython notebook. Okay, so my point was still up to this much we have already covered, because in the matplotlib extensively I covered on. So the introduction part, then line plot, the scatter plots I had covered. No, not scatter plot. So the mainly on how we can draw at the high level. Okay, then I started with the line plots, then scatter plots, bar plots, histogram plots also extensively had covered. And you just run these IPython notebooks and please practice it. Then uh, let's see whatever we have learned now here in this as a the visualization techniques, but how you want to use it when really you want to have certain case study. For example, think that there is a data set available, like the salaries of your data scientist in the last 3 4 years, that data is available. But in that case, how you want to perform the analysis. Okay, so yeah, we are not getting into the because we have not learned anything about the pre-processing techniques yet. Okay, so mainly before that, but once the data is given, so how the data looks like, what all this data is about. So at least so at the high level basic understanding. For example, if you have a data scientist, the salaries. So now there are various kinds of the roles exist as a data scientist and their salary. Like if you want to see in the last 3 years which was the high salary job role, all that. So at least some kind of analysis we can perform with our existing knowledge. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so data science trends and salaries. Okay, okay, fine. So let me, okay, this is all about importing the required libraries. Then these are the things which I want to cover it now, mainly on importing libraries. As you know, this mainly I will try to import this pandas, numpy, then matplotlib and the seaborn. Okay, then loading the data set, what is available with us, then understanding the data set. So this is all part of the pandas, we have already seen that. Then understanding the data set means that how many rows and how many columns are available, and what kind of attributes is existing in this data set, how much it is numeric and how much it is the non-numeric. Then we'll take some important questions like top 10 job titles in 2022. Then we have to see the experience level, and we have to let's see employee types, then salaries by job titles. Okay, so different things we want to explore in this using the matplotlib library, purely matplotlib. I'm not looking to the seaborn. Okay, so let's go with the first importing the libraries. Okay, what we need. Then after this, there is a already in my local system, I have a uh, data science salaries.csv file is available with me. Just using the pandas library, I'm just reading that, and let me display the head also with this. So what kind of data is available with this? So this is the index, because this we can always remove it. And there is a work here, means that in 2020. Okay, so what kind of the job title is there, like data scientist. Then the salary is there. Then the salary currency in euros. Okay, maybe in the what kind of the currency is existing in the data. Then again the salary is in USD, and also I think salary should be available in the okay, maybe in the currency only. The USD is available. Okay, so the even company location is there. Then the company size, what kind of company is that? So before we begin with any kind of data set, at least we should have an understanding on what kind of variables available with that data set. Okay, so okay, fine. I have already read this. So if I see this, what kind of the df.info, if I do this, okay, then what happens here? Okay, it will clearly shows me that there are actually 607 entries are there. Okay, and almost is one is work here that indicates the year, that is int 64, that is of integer type. Then the experience level, employee type, what kind of employee type is that? Okay, so mainly if you want to see what kind of employee type is that, okay, for example, let me just uh, add one more row here. Okay, so df of employee type. Okay, employee type dot unique. If I do this, what unique okay, there is a full time, then there is a, I think there is some indications. Let's see that what it available. But FT indicates the full time, then part time is there, then contract is there. Okay, okay, fine. So maybe the indication for what kind of employee is that, whether he's a contract, whether he's a full time, or what kind of employee is he. Okay, and again, let us see the job title also. Suppose, for example, what kind of job title exists in the data set altogether? What are the unique values? If I want to see this, let's replace the employee type with the unique title. So almost, oh, gapre, there are so many job titles in the data scientist, as a data scientist, as a machine learning scientist. Okay, and you can see this. There's a huge list of the job titles available, and the respective salaries also provided to with us. And we have to analyze it this. Okay, and for example, you can take the experience level also. What kind of experience level, since it is objective, then let's take that what kind of experience levels are available with us. So MI SC entry level, probably it could be an entry level, and probably it could be full time or all that kind of the experience levels. Okay, the expert is there, this is an entry level, maybe this is senior level or something like that. Okay, yeah, maybe for that particular job role, for that particular work experience. And so this kind of data is available with us, but let's study that one by one, what we want to explore in this data set purely using matplotlib, and we are not getting into the seaborn. Okay, let's drop that first column, which is actually not required for me, that is you named 0. Okay, so let me drop the first one, you named 0, this is not required for me, and I will remain with the main columns. Okay, then let's go with the size of the data set. What I do for this, mainly shape 0, already you have seen this as a basic high level of the data frame, the functions. Okay, the shape gives me the shape actually. 0 and 1 indicates this is the number of rows and this is the number of the columns. So in the 607, as I shown in the info also, there was 607 the number of rows, and there are 11 columns are there. Okay, good. Then here also I'm just again doing the data from info here, so which will give me the high level information about the data frame which I'm going to study now. Okay, fine. So up to this much is fine. And now let's check the, are there any missing values in the data set? Okay, but this part extensively we cover in the pre-processing part. Okay, that is again, but let's just look into what kind of whether we have any missed values, so that certain treatment is required if missed values are needed. Right now, if missed value is available, we'll just remove those the rows from the data set for our analysis. If I do this, there is a function called is null, and I just go and sum it, and now the missing value is 0. It's good that I don't have any null values in my data set. Okay, and altogether, if I want to see the number of unique values, because earlier I was showing you here the unique values for a particular attribute. Okay, for example, experience level, there are 4 unique values in that particular object. Okay. So similarly, what I'm doing for the entire data set, what kind of unique data is available. If you see this work here, there are only three. Why it indicates three? Probably it is from 2022, 21 and 20. So there are 3 years data is available with me. Okay. The experience level I shown it, there are four. Then employee type is again four. Okay. The employee type is whether he's a full-time, part-time, all that. Okay. And the experience level is like expert he is or entry level, what kind. There are four unique values for that. And job title, we have already seen that there is a data scientist or a data engineer or financial engineer, what kind of job title he has. Then there are 272 unique values in the salary, and there is currency also in the okay, salary in currency, salary in USD. Probably this would be, let me check what kind of currency is that. Okay, yeah, correct. There are 17 currency data is available, whether it is in the dollars or any other kind of currency. Okay, there are 17 currencies are there. Okay, then residence, then remote ratio, then company location, okay, and company size. Company size is again object type, three type company size, whether it could be medium or a smaller one, or probably it might be enterprise level kind of company. Okay, so by this we can also understand that like how, what kind of salary actually the kind of company provides. Probably whether you have a very good salary in the enterprise level, or whether we get a good salary in the low level or at least the mid level kind of companies. Okay, that kind of analysis we can do it. So let's begin with this one by one. Okay, now I want to know that what are my top 10 job titles in 2022. That is my question. Okay, so if that is my question, first let me look into the data head here. Okay, and in this, what is my job title? Yes, this is my job title. But when I want to know this, what is my job? This is if this is my job title, and based on that, in the 2022, I need to extract. If that is the case, then I have to uh, join with the work year. Okay, work year is my attribute, so only those two things I want to extract. But what should be my condition? That should be 2022. So that is the reason what I will do. I will create one simple logic here. Okay, so df work is equal to 2022. Only with that perspective of condition I want to retain the data frame. Then what columns you need it, work year you need it, then the job title is needed. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I will select only for 2022 work year. Then from that data set, okay, the result of 2022 data set, okay, I want to retain job title and the work year. Okay, then I will assign this to test df. Okay, fine. Suppose for example, test df, I'll put the head also. So only for 2022, and these are various job titles available with me. Okay, if you see this, for example, let me, what I will do, I'll take the df and okay, so even let me do the job title and dot unique, and this will give the entire unique values. Okay, maybe around yeah, these are the unique, right? Okay, okay, there are so many things are here. Okay, before this I have already shown you this data. There is around job title is around 50 for me. Okay, so that is all together for the entire data set. Okay, fine. So again, this is an array, so is it possible that I have a length for this? Okay, fine. If I do this, yeah, 50 is available for me. Even the same function, I want to execute it only for the pure 2022. If I want to do this, instead of df, I'll put the test df here. Okay, if I do this, okay, in 2022 there are 33 job titles are available with me. Okay, so again from for last 3 years data it is here, and here we have only for 1 year, that is around 33 job titles I have. Okay, and I'm displaying the head here. Fine. Then now what I will do with this job title, let me count the value counts. Okay, if I do this, value counts means that data engineer, how many data engineer exists, how many data scientists exist, because these are various employees across the world. Okay, so now data engineers are 89, data scientists are 77. So In the in the descending order, I'm just going to display everything here. Okay, fine. Now what I have to do? Suppose this top 10 is my actually the top 10 engineer, the top 10 job titles in the data science role. Okay, so that is my answer. In this 2022, the top 10 I want to extract it. Okay, then how do I do this? Very simple. The value counts are already taken. There is a function called n largest. In that 10 I will take. So the top 10 I have already received in the jobs. Okay, then but I want to print this like in each job how many people exist. Okay, if I want to know this, what I will do, I will plot a bar graph. Okay, so how my bar graph looks like, what I'm doing trying to do, this is already know this as a figure. In this I am taking the function of a bar, plot dot bar. What will be my x now? The x will be my the index, the jobs dot index. Okay, because this is a series here. If you just go and let me just go and type do the jobs. Okay, if I do this, this is my series actually. Okay, the index is that the title of the jobs, and the count is your actual values. Now if I want to put it in the bar graph, no, this has to be x and this has to be in a y. Okay, so that is the reason I'm just plotting the bar graph with the index as a x, and what will be your height for the bar, so that will be your jobs dot values. Okay, then the color I given as maroon. Okay, that zero point 0.7 is your ratio. Okay, resolution ratio. Then I want to align it a center, and these are the title and label I have given for that. Okay, and important here you have to remember x-ticks I have made it rotation to 90 degrees so that they won't overlap, and they just I'm trying to print them in the 90-degree fashion. Okay, so this is how my data looks like. So by looking this data, what you understand, very simple. Top 10 jobs list in 2022. If you print this automatically, okay, nice. It means that data engineer, data scientist, data analyst. Okay, so these are the job titles that actually majority of the people are into this. Okay, in last 2022, that's what it indicates. Okay, so that is one important question right now we have solved with this particular data set using the matplotlib. Okay, fine. Now let's get into this experience levels. Okay, let's put the data head. Okay, just for the my sake I'm just doing this data, otherwise not required. Okay, so again what I want to do, I want to understand the experience levels. Experience levels. Where is experience levels? This is the experience levels. Okay, fine. So let's take the unique data. So as I already shown you, there are four unique experience level exist, and let me rename them. Okay. So by doing this, what I'm trying to do, I'll replace the EN by entry level or a junior, MI mid level or intermediate, SE indicates senior level or expert. X means executive level or a director. So this will be more understanding for me if I try to replace those the code. Okay, as EN, MI, SE, and EX. If I do this, so how my now data looks like? Yeah, nicely I have replaced with this instead of the code, I've just replaced with the actual the experience levels. Okay, name of the experience levels. Okay, fine. Now the same thing whatever I had done it for the top 10 job titles here, the same thing I'm doing it here. Okay, so here what I have to do, I'll take the experience level, then value counts. Okay, in these four experience level, these many actually exist from my data, or out of around 660 or something is there. Okay, with this is my value counts. Fine. Now I want, okay, so let me share it in my experience series here. Then again, the same thing what I did it earlier, I'm just going for the matplotlib. Okay, for plotting the bar. Fine. The same thing what I have done it here. Okay, so because earlier I was choosing like n large 10. Okay, because I want to select only the top 10 values which are actually at the high level. Okay, so now I don't want that because only four are for me, that particular function is not needed. And what I will do, I will try to plot it with only my four experience level, and this is how my data looks like. Okay, so what it indicates in my overall, okay, the overall, what is happening here in that particular experience level, these many number of employees exist across the world, whatever the data I have selected. Okay, whatever the data which I am trying to study. Okay, I'm not trying to generalize everything here because they just try to understand the framework here. The kind of data set is available with me. With that perspective data set, I am trying to analyze. Okay, yeah, this is my mid level and this entry level, and this is how actually it exists. Again, this is very simple. My second exercise also, this is similar to the job title what I have done it in the first case, and the second case is also very easy for me. Fine, now let's go into the next level, that is employee types. Let's run the df.head. What is this employee types here? Okay, so employee types, where this employee type is available. Yeah, this is my employee type. Here also I think some renaming is required, which I want to do it now. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, if I take the unique and try to replace as I did it for the experience levels. Okay, so where the code got replaced, the similar thing I'm doing it here for the, okay, okay, fine. Now for the employee types also, when I do this, all my the, yeah, the codes get replaced with FT for full time, PT for part time, CT for contract, and FL for the freelance. Okay, and with respect to this, I want to understand what kind of data, how the data looks like. Okay, fine. Okay, now I have run it. Then let's take the experience level. What kind of experience level is now needed? There are again like employee type. Here also I have 4 experience levels: mid-level, senior level, entry level, and executive level. Okay, fine. Now what I want to do with this? Okay, so here now employee experience levels per employee type. Okay, what is interesting here is, okay, now we have an employee type, but we want to understand per employee type what is the experience level. Okay, so this I can show it here. So what I want now, see, there is a experience level and the employee type. Okay, means that for there are 4 experience levels. Okay, but earlier I was just for, if you take the yeah, see there, let me not confuse, employee type, then employee. Okay, what kind of employee type you have and what kind of employee. One second, let me just come back to that. Okay, you have experience level and we have an employee type. Okay, so let me take this. This is your experience level. And this is your experience level. Already experience level is there. Okay, fine. This is employee type. This is your employee type. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. Now there are two attributes are available with me. Okay. So what is that? One is the experience level of an employee. Okay. Then one more is the employee type. Okay. What is that employee type? Whether the employee is a full-time, contract, part-time, or a freelance. And in the experience level is that whether he's a senior level or entry level, all that. Okay. But here interesting is that if this only data exists for me, okay. So if I want to see the employee type, I can just do it with the bar graph. Okay. So what type of employee type is available by looking at the bar, I'll be able to understand. But now what I want to do in the experience level, okay, means that I want to know in each employee type, if he's a full time, if he is a contract, or if he's a part time, under this, what kind of uh, what kind of experience level exists actually in each job type. Okay, for example, in the full time, if the in the 222, in the full time employees, I want to know how many are entry level and how many are at the senior level. Okay, so this kind of day I want to plot it, because this will give a very good understanding when you trying to split the data here. Okay, with respect to the individual, the individual employee types. Okay. Okay, let me discard this again. I'll just come back to my. Okay, so that's what I want to do it here. Fine. So this is not simple. If I want to do it in the Seaborn, that is only a single of line. But it's not simple in the matplotlib. So that's what I wanted to highlight. That is the reason I'm just coding this. Okay. So what I'm doing in this particular block of code, I'm taking both experience level and the employee type. Okay. Then what I will do, I will just for each experience level, I'm just trying to analyze what kind of employee type exists. Okay. And you just take a look when this Python notebook is available with you. Okay. In this, what I'm doing for each experience level, okay, and what is the employee for each employee type, what is the experience levels. Okay, so I'm just counting all that, and this is what I want to plot it now. Okay, so it's a huge data what I have written here. Okay, just take a look. If any questions are there, let me know on this. Okay, so this is how beautifully I am going to plot this. Or do you understand this number of employee types? Okay, so under the full time, what kind of job titles we have. Okay, so each color indicates mid level, senior level, entry level, and executive level. Okay, but that's what I earlier also I told. Matplotlib, if you are very strong in the coding, okay, this is actually the finest tool, because I enjoy in Matplotlib, because the kind of code I write it actually. Okay, so this is if you just go through this code, if you don't understand, let me know. Okay, so I'll be able to explain this, and this is my purely my code. Hmm? Okay, so the number of employee types. This is beautifully we can display this. Okay, so by looking at this, we can able to understand that cleanly, like under the full time or the contract, part time or freelance. So how many employees would exist in the different the job types? Okay, yeah, this is about what we are doing it under the employee types. Fine. Now let's get into this salaries by job titles. Okay. So let's do the again head here. So what I'm doing, what is my job title? Against that each job title, what are my salaries? Okay. Now if I want to, and when I want to consider that which has got a high salary in the last in 2022, maybe I want to know this last top 10. Okay, so you know this from the last 3 years, what was the job titles? So it was around 50 is the unique values. In the top 50, what is the highest salary? That also I can check it. Okay, so if you see this job title as a unique, these are around 50. The unique values exist as a job title. Okay, then what I will do? So interesting is that job title is 1 point, the salaries in USD is 1 point, but you know this when you if you take the complete data set, okay, so there is a duplication of the job title because each job title probably have the different kind of salaries. In that case, what I have to do, I have to group it, okay, by a job title. If I do this by grouping it, data scientist is one, the machine learning data scientist, big data. So what is happening here, we are going to group by the job title. Then what I will do, I will take the average of that. Okay, if when you do the grouping, for example, this is around 50 job titles are there. What is my data? There is around almost around 610 rows of data. So it means that definitely there are a lot of duplication with the different salaries is available. Okay, for example, as a lead data scientist, okay, for a lead data scientist there could be multiple people across the world having the role, but their salaries are different. But now in that case, what I have to do, I have to take the average of it. That is the reason I am grouping based on the job title. If I do this next, what I will do, the same thing up to this much is fine. Then I will go with the mean. Then I sort the values. Okay, that too in ascending order because I want to select the top five here because that is the reason I have given a head. You know, this head function will give me the top five. Okay, then I will do this. Then what I will do, okay, so here I have displayed it for the head. Okay, now here I'm selecting with the head function as a 10. If I send a parameter also, I'll be able to select the top 10. This is my top 10 because already I'm doing it in ascending. Okay, fine. Now, if I do it ascending, it will start from low to high, but I am doing it a false here because I want to do it in a descending. So the highest salary will come on the first, then we'll go with the lower values. So now this is my top 10 values. Data analytics lead, then principal data engineer, okay, director of data science. You can see this, okay. If you are very much a good technical person, you will get a wonderful salary in data science. Okay, so this is a pure data what we have extracted for the last 2022. Still there is a 23 data is also available. Okay, we can analyze all that. Okay, and I tell you, try to explore and be on the coding part. I'll tell you, you will get a very good salary. Okay, then once I do this, I'll just same thing. What I will do, I'll just go with, okay, maybe I have not done. One second, top 10. Okay, let me run this. Fine. Okay, this top 10. This is top 10. Fine. Okay, fine. Now this time I'm using the horizontal bars. Okay. And with respect to each of the job title, and I'm displaying the salaries. So for a data analytics, almost is around this much of salaries he's taking. And this is the real data, what it actually showing for you. Okay. And this is how we can beautifully come up with the representation of the data pictorially. Okay. Then let's take one more case. Salaries by employee types. What do you mean employee type? Already I have enough spent on employee types. Okay. So the employee types and the salary in USD, I want to do it. So whether the contract person, full time or freelancing and the part time. Okay. Here also I'm doing ascending, but see this contract people have the very good salary. Okay. And part time is at the lowest, full time and the freelance. Okay. Always you know this contract employees will get a very good salary. Hmm? But if you're a direct contract, okay, if you are indirectly coming through some other companies, then that company will eat all your money. Okay, so that is the reason contract will get a very low salary. And this is how the real data looks like. Then I want to just plot it in a bar graph, and I want to show you that for each four of the types, what kind of salaries exist. Okay, and this beautifully I can draw this, and it's very neat and clean, which can be very much neatly understood pictorially. Fine. Now, okay, here, Okay, again one different exercise which I'm doing it here means that I want to again split it by the work here. So that is the reason what I have done it here. Earlier I was grouping it by only one attribute, but now I am grouping it by the even work year also. Means that in each year, okay, I want to know that how much their salary exists there. Okay, even I can nicely draw that plot also. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, what is that? For example, uh, for the location contract 2020, if you take it, okay, what it exists actually, I'm trying to extract this data. A contract for 2020 is this much. This is how I can do a location. I already know these functions which I have learned in the data frame. Okay, then suppose I want to extract only the salary in USD, then I can do this like this. Okay, so because I'm using it my function, that's the reason I am just showcasing that here. And in this function, what I am doing for each year, I am splitting the complete salary. Okay, for each of the employee types. Fine. Then let's go and plot this. I'll show the difference between the earlier plot and this one. If you do this, okay, so what I'm doing now, earlier as a complete as a single bar was there here. Okay, now I don't want that. I want to split it by the year here. That is the reason. So you can just see the difference. This one, these are actually similar, this plot and that plot. Okay, both are similar. Here full-time contract part-time, here full-time contract part-time. Okay, then here in the y-axis also have a salary, but now I want to split this bar and see that per year how much it looks like. If I want to do this, this is how I have to do it, but this can be done easily in a single line in the seaborn. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm trying to show you the difficulties in a matplotlib and how simple is that in the seaborn. Okay, okay, fine. So this is nice. Okay, this is how we can split it and see that even for in the each year how it is coming up. Hmm? Can see the full time here. Okay, this much, then automatically this has go for uh, this is for the full time. From the year to year it is growing. Okay, fine. For the full time it is growing. You can see this in the contract, almost it has jumped in maybe in the 2021. Okay, nice. Maybe it was probably due to the COVID or maybe some other reasons. Probably the contract employees have gone shoot up, and the freelance is almost good here. Okay, yeah, now it has shoot up in 2022. You can see this. Okay, nice. Then let's go with the salaries by work years. Okay, so let me do the head. What is the work years? Okay, work year 2022 and based on the salaries. Again, I think this is very simple here. Then in 2022 and what kind of salary exists, group by the work year, and completely I take the mean of that. So yeah, then I'll put an index for that, and this is how my the line plot will look like in the work year 2022 and how the salary is actually growing. If you see this, actually the salaries is going in, you can just shoot up in 2022 like anything. Okay, yeah, then the same thing I can do it differently because earlier I was doing it dot dot and all that. I just avoided. Just take the difference what I'm doing in both the graphs. Okay, yeah. Now if I want to plot it and show you that in the just type beside to each other, that we can do it by going with the subplots. Subplots, using the subplots we can create any number of plots and in like an array fashion. For example, in this case I want to have one row and two columns. Okay, in the two columns indicates the two rows and sorry two columns, and this is a single row, and in each the position I want to create certain graph here. So this is my work year salary, then the total the super title I given it here. Okay, fine. So okay, it is very interesting that remote job locations we want to see. Okay, what is this remote job location? Okay, remote job location has got certain location IDs here, DE, GP, GB, HN, US, and all that. But using this data, we need to convert it. Let's see that how we can do this. But before this, what I will do, I'll check the location, group it by location, and see that how many company location and what is the remote ratio. Okay, if I do this is my remote ratio. Okay, means that the ratio. Okay, so there is an important library called Coco from the country converter. We have to install it and we have to import and okay. So this guy will convert my data to the actual values for the library, like for the names for the countries. Okay, yeah, I think this will take some time. Just a second. Okay. Otherwise I'll come back to this. Okay, so this is about the matplotlib, and with respect to almost I have covered nicely with this particular application. Probably in future also I will take the same data set, probably once we have pre-processing part, probably when you are doing certain kind of modeling also. Okay, so because this nicely we are exploring this data set. Okay, yeah. So this is how we need to explore the data set. Then after this, what you have to do, you have to come up with your own conclusions on the data set. We need to come up with a summary for what is your view on the data. Okay. So for that, you have always proofs as a pictorial graphs. Okay. And that we call as inferences of your analysis. Okay, fine. Yeah, now this is done for me. Okay, let me go here. I'll not get into this more because this is not at all required. You can just go through the data if you want. I'm using a Plotly Express here. Okay, I'll come back to this. No issues. Fine. Okay, till up to now we have looked into one important case study. Okay, for analyzing the data scientist uh, job titles respect to salary. Okay, this is done. I'll just run this. Okay, the next is that let's get into the seaborn. The same data set, I'm doing it with the seaborn also. Okay, and there is one more case study I have taken for the seaborn, that is a penguin data set. Okay, fine. Let me start with the seaborn introduction. Okay, this remote job location has come. Okay, fine. So if you see this, the world map I'm trying to display, but with respect to different kinds of jobs. Okay, for example, remote job ratio, if you see this, so it is starting from low and till up to end yellow. If you see this, there are actually a lot of requirements there. Okay, many people in the from the data set, they are belong to this particular zone, more people if you go to the red. Okay, and if you maybe in the India, it is almost ratio is around 60, so this is where we fall. Hmm? And again, if you take this China is low here. Okay, okay, fine. Though this is in Canada, south and north. Fine. Okay. Take a look on the data, whatever I have done it. Okay. But try stick to this and try to explore more different coding part. We'll have a very good understanding. Let's get into the introduction to the seaborn. Fine. So here again, as I said earlier also, the seaborn is like a matplotlib, but completely this library is built on top of the matplotlib. Whatever is possible with a matplotlib, everything can be done by the matplotlib. Okay, sorry, everything is done can be done with the Seaborn. Okay, so one question is very important. Why Seaborn if you have already learned the matplotlib? So our answer is that Seaborn helps us to define different themes in our plot, but that cannot be done in the matplotlib because the touch and the feel of the plots, okay, so that can nicely done in the Seaborn, but not with the matplotlib. Okay, then they have a lot of different palettes on the colors. Okay, so then Seaborn helps us to mainly, but what I personally feel that Seaborn is interesting and that will give a lot of statistical analytical graphs and charts. Okay, so once you have a good understanding on the statistics part, probably you can explore more on the Seaborn. Okay, so let's see that what kind of the charts available with us in the Seaborn. Again, line charts is there, and making the multiple charts, bar charts, pie charts, then scatter charts, distribution. You have the box plots, violin charts, strip plots, swarm is there. Okay, we'll see that what it is, heat maps and the kernel, the KDE plots. Okay, let's me run one by one. Okay, I'm just importing the library and now let's begin with the Seaborn. Okay, yeah, and in this case I'm taking one employee.csv file and let's see that what attributes it has. Okay, let me read the data set. Then there is around 1470 rows are available and there are 35 columns is available for the employee CSV file. Okay, so what kind of is there? Okay, fine. Now, this is all the employee details like what is the age, attrition, business travel, daily rate, department, okay, and what kind of education field, all that. So different attributes with respect to the employee. Okay, and let's see, analyze it with respect to the Seaborn. Okay, so just to explore the different charts, okay, I'm just using this employee.csv file and not for pure analysis. Okay, now let's begin with the first one, bar charts. In this, okay, as we know this has a dependence on the matplotlib, but I need the matplotlib here. I'm setting certain parameters for the matplotlib, saying that what could be my figure size, that is 9 by 4. Then inside, before the title and the show, I can execute my Seaborn function. That is for a bar plot. Okay, so here X and Y and the palette is given green. You can give anything here. Okay, there are lots of palettes, color palettes are available with Seaborn, and that is not so with the matplotlib. Okay, so that is quite interesting in the Seaborn if you're really, because we're very passionate about showing your graphs in the kinds of different the colors. Okay, yeah, even I can change the to different red also, like what how you can get it. Okay, there is no red here. Okay, fine. So let's keep it as it is. Just explore the different palettes. Oh, sorry, green. Oh, what happened to this? No, I not executed properly. Actually, it is greens. Okay, greens it is. If I make reds, yeah, see, yeah. Again, this is a different kind of coloring code. Okay, see, again, yeah, I'm using just the as a X in the department like sales, research and development, and human resource, and what kind of wage is available. But you see this here, there is a small line is there. So this is the a statistical understanding here, means that for the sale department and what it is directly doing earlier in the matplotlib, so I used to take the mean of the data, correct? So here also it is trying to the main, but here there is a error that indicates your standard of deviation. Means that from the mean, how much deviation is the data? Okay, for the with respect to the age. If you take the sales year, and it is almost around, think that it is around 36. 36 is the average. But still, what happens here? What is your apart from the mean, what is your standard of deviation? Means that that error it will give. Okay, so again, this is a very good figure for me if I want to understand how my data varies with respect to my certain error. Okay, apart from the around the mean, how the data is varying. Okay, so that is interesting. Again, there is no need to configure automatically. I will get this kind of data with the cbar. Then let's go with the business travel. We have the travel rarely, frequently, and non-travel. Okay, and again, I'm doing it. See, X is the department, age is there, but this time I'm just adding one column called hue. Okay, earlier, if I wanted to do this, I had written so much of code, but this can be done with only hui. Okay, so this completed definition got changed. Means now this was the salaries there, and in the earlier matplotlib this was a salary and this was the year. Okay, so now if I want to split it as per the year, okay, for the job type, then automatically this can be done very easily if I provide the hui here. Okay, like for example, x is equal to data department already taken, y is there. Okay, let me just take out this. Okay, this is how it looks like. Now if I add the hui to it, automatically my data will split, okay, based on the business travel. Okay, for example, in that particular sales department on certain age, I want to know what are the age belongs to the different travel, like people frequently traveling. If you see this, who are frequently traveling, suppose this is the in the sales department. Now if you take the human resources, this is the data is more here. Okay, maybe the 40, maybe around 45 people around the age. Okay, so there is a lot of travel is there. Okay, so if you see this, they are non-travel in the human resource who are aged people. But if you see this, maybe the travel frequency is less here. Okay, they travel rarely. Okay, so it gives a little good understanding, right? Yeah, this is now let's go on to the count plots. The count plots are similar to like the histograms. Okay, so if you see this, I just do the count plot, and I want to see the on the education field. In the education field, how much employees are available in the life science? So around 600 people are existing in my data set. So this gives is again simple one single of line of code. Okay, that's about count plots. Then similarly, if I go with a hui, okay, so if you see this X is called data education field, which I have already done it here. And now I'm just doing with the attrition rate. Okay, now if I plot this hui, let's comment this and just check this. Okay, this is how my data looks like. Now if I give the hui, uh, completely got means that there are only two values for the attrition, yes or no. Now in that I want to just check in the each department how much attrition is there. Okay, yeah, this is nice. Then the line charts. Okay, this is about the line charts for each department. I want to see the what is the age here. Okay, how the age is growing, something like this. Fine. Okay, and again this is again I told you statistical data maybe on that with respect to the from the sales point of view. This is the mean, but what is the standard of deviation? So it will give from the low to the high. Okay, this is how it actually varies. Here also it varies this much, and here it varies so much. Okay, so all we are just joining together, and this gives the complete the error boundary for the mean data. Okay, so similarly, I can put a hue field here. Okay, this is the data department and the age here. But what kind of age? Uh, the same data. For example, now let me comment this. Okay, okay, position argument keyword. Okay, some error. Okay, I don't want this one. Okay, what happened to this? Okay, okay, maybe okay. Let's not touch that. Okay, fine. This is how it looks for hui, and also the scatter plots, you can see this. Okay, and y is the age here, and this is the monthly rate, and this is how we will be able to display the data points with respect to. This will be very useful for the scatter charts. Similarly, now I'm introducing hui for the attrition. In the same data, I want to see that what is yes or no. If I want to this, I just pass the hui here, and this is how nicely it shows. And again, one more size also I'm trying to do it. Okay, if you see this monthly rate and attrition, all that. Okay, just try to explore by looking at the charts. And again, Seaborn is very simple. Okay, it's not like Matplot, because in the Matplot, why I spent so much of time, because that a lot of coding is needed, but that's not so in the Seaborn. Okay, so what plot you need, you just in one line of statement you will be able to get that particular plot. Okay, this is about the dist plot. This is about the distribution. For example, now under the age, this is my density, means that this, like if you see this histogram, in this age I can get the count. Okay, but I want to see the distribution, how it looks like, whether it is in the bell form, or whether it obeys the normal density function. Okay, all that we can check it. Okay, yeah, this is about the distribution plots. Then coming to the box plots. Yeah, box plots is very important, but this extensively I will cover when I'm doing it in a statistics, because that needs one of the important concept called 5 point summary. Okay, means that when you perform any kind of descriptive analytics, the five things are very much needed. What is the minimum? What is the maximum, and what is the average, or means what is the mean of that, then this first quartile, and this is your second quartile. Okay, and this is called as IQ, or interquartile range. Okay, this I will explain it during my statistics. Okay, yeah, basically these box plots are used for pictorially representing that 5 point summary for each of the attributes. For example, now under the sales, how my 5 point summary look like. Okay, for this one, if you see this, what is my minimum value, that is again below 20, and what is my maximum value for the sales, it is maybe 60 plus. Okay, and what is the mid range, if you see this, you'll completely get an idea like how my data looks like. Okay, yeah, then again I'm doing the hui function for data attrition, I'm taking yes or no, and again we can split and see that how data looks like. Okay, this is the same thing, like, but this is a box and plots. Okay, so same thing, how it is displaying for your box plots. Again, this is a different form of displaying it. Fine. Then again, the violin also almost the same. Okay, yeah, can check this, how it. Similarly, I'm attrition, I'm going with the violin. Okay, fine. Okay, then strip plots are there again. And not used much all these graphs, but mainly for us important graphs are the bar, box plots, histograms. Okay, the scatter plots. Okay, line plot, maybe comparison of modeling. I will use it, but not much this violin all that. We can explore this. Okay, and the swarm plots also is fine, but see that how you can use it actually in your case study, or in kind of work what you're doing. There are many plots exist, but this is very important, the joint plot. Joint plot, why this will give the scatter, but you can get this KDE for that, means that how the histogram looks like. There are two graphs into the single one. Okay, and this helps actually. Okay, yeah, then the same joint plot with the hexa, then with respect to the KDE, then heat plots are very important for your data correlations. This I will take it in the statistics. Maybe again I will come back to these plots. Okay, don't think that I'm just moving on, because when we start study, because this Seaborn is basically used for statistical analysis. Once we start the statistics for every concepts, I will come back to the Seaborn, and I will run the different functions so that we'll get a more understanding. Hmm. Then the pair plots, this is very much important when we are doing a multivariate analysis. Okay, so in this case I have read the hard CSV file, but This one is very important because I want to understand how each plot, how each variable are interdependent. Okay, so in that case, this pair plot is very important. Again, this is part of one of the important step in the exploratory data analysis. Okay, okay, let it come. Okay, so this is about the seaborn, but now we had studied about the data scientist case study. Okay, so let's go back to that and see that how we can do it the same function with the seaborn. Okay, so yeah, so this is it has given the pair plot, means that x and y. Okay, if you can see this, x is again variables, y and the variables, but how actually are they interdependent, means that we need to study one by one. Okay, so just to get an understanding on how each variables are interdependent to the other. Okay, it needs a lot of understanding on exploratory data analysis. Again, we'll come back to this pair plot when we are discussing on EDA. Okay, so let's move on to the see our case study which we were discussing. Okay, now this CBOR case study, data science trends. Fine. Okay, the same thing what I had done it with the matplotlib, and I am doing it with the CBOR. Let me just run the libraries. Now let's import the data set. I'll not spend much time here because already enough spent on this case study, but only our view is that how we can be done with the seaborn. That's what our concentration here. So let's run the data head. Okay, fine. Similar to, we will drop the first column, which is not required. Let's take the size of the data set 676 DF also. We have seen that. Okay, then we're checking with the missed values. Then we're checking with the unique values. Already we have done this. What is the first thing which we are doing it here? The job titles. Okay, fine. So what job titles exist? Okay, similarly, top 10 job titles which I had worked on, and this is how my value counts, and there I was giving that n largest and all that, right? Okay, so okay, so this we did it with the your matplotlib. Okay, so this was already have seen this. I did the n largest from the value counts, then I just displayed the bar plot. Okay, and similarly, if I want to do it with the seaborn, which I can nicely do it with the seaborn. Okay, so this is again very simple. Here I need the data. Here also I need the n largest of 10, but I'm just taking care of SNS with a bar plot. But again, this is with the horizontal I given. Still I can make it, if I interchange this data here and AX, if I put it over here, then automatically I will get the bar plot, the vertical bar plot, similarly what I given. Okay, but here what's the difference is, if you see this is more informative in the seaborn. Okay, this is not much. If I want to add more information, I have to code it in my I need to more code. Okay, that's what I want to say. And by just running a few commands, I'll be able to get so much of pictorial representation of the data, and with a more information here. Okay, and yeah, this is good actually. And similarly, experience levels, we are seeing that. Okay, let's come back to this experience levels, and I'm just replacing those values. Then I have seen the experience levels are replaced. Then I'm just trying to display the experience levels. Okay, and the counts. Similarly, if I do it with the nicely, even the count is available on top of each of the bar. Okay, and with the different colors, I'm able to display nicely. Okay, this how my data looks like. Okay, and still you can their overlapping is there. We can make it in a 90 degree and rotate the X labels. That always you can do it. Okay, yeah, fine. This is about the C1. And then about the employee types. Okay, here this employee types is similar to the job types. Okay, which have easily we did it with the. Okay, fine. But we spend a lot of time here for em- understanding this particular plot here, because this much of code we had written. But how about if you go with the simple SNS plot? This is SNS plus how it looks like. In just 4 lines I'm able to get this data. Okay, this is nice for me. But still I love matplotlib only here, because this has I have more control. I can move anywhere, or I can put it anywhere whatever I wish, and the size and all that different colors I can all do this. But you need to explore more on Seaborn if you want to do it. Take the control of the graph. Okay, nice. And I spent a good amount of time because just I wanted to show you the difference here. Okay, nice. Just take a look and explore it. It's a nice thing. Then here, salaries by job titles I'm doing. I'll just group it. Then job titles, I'll just quickly run this. I'll take the top 10. Okay. Then this is how my data looks like. For the top, average salaries by job title. What you have, left side I have a job title, and this is how my salaries look like. Okay, and this is how I am trying to showcase the same thing which I can do it in the CBOR. Again, it is very simple with a different color palette. Nicely I can get it. You can see this. Okay, yeah, which one is good for me? This time I am very much love the CBOR. Okay, fine. Next, let's go with the salaries by employee types. Employee type you have. Then I'll take the average. Okay, let me rerun this. Okay, contract. Okay, I don't know what is the issue here. Key error contract. Okay, okay. This is because that replacement maybe I have not done it. Maybe I have not run that. Okay, I'll just run it from the cell. Clear. Run all. Okay. Okay, this you have seen. Then we are here employee types. Okay. Okay, this one we have seen this. Okay, for each contract, what is the salary here, which I want to do it. Similarly, what I have to do it in the CBOR. Okay, so this is how we can do it in the Matplotlib, and this is very interesting if you see this in the CBOR. Okay, just hardly 2 lines of code. Okay, but here extensively I need to write up the code in the Matplotlib. Okay, this is about the seaborn, and you saw this earlier also. I spent sort of a lot of time to get an understanding on this. Okay, so means that for the each full time or the kind of the employee type can be full time, contract, part time, or freelance. Under this each category, and I want to know this per year, what could be their average salary? If it is this is a standard of deviation also. And here there is a big line. It means that there is a range is very high here, means that in the contract there is a very low range and there is a very high range of a salary, but still this is your mean. Okay, and you under but if you see this, the data is not centered around the mean. Centered around the mean means that there is a lot of disperse of the data. That's what we can understand from this. Okay, fine. So that's what it tells. Then similarly, this is salaries by work years. And in the matplotlib, we are just going with the line plot. And similarly, I can do it in the beautifully in this seaborn. Same thing again. You can always replace those with maybe the seaborn line plots. Okay, fine. I think this main differences I have already shown you that, and the remote job locations, which I have already shown it in the matplotlib. There is no much difference in the with respect to the seaborn. Okay, so this is all about the seaborn. I think enough spend time on this both visualization libraries. Okay, so now what we will do from tomorrow, after having this enough knowledge, I think uh, we'll start working on the statistics. Okay, yeah, and just see this. Okay, so there is one more case study on the penguin data set. Okay, and again I have given a seaborn exercise for you, and I'm expecting solutions from you. Please work on. Let's see that what exercise I have given for the seaborn. Okay, so there is a data is available with me, which I have already read it, like titanic.csv file. I will upload the csv file for you. Okay, and then question is recreate the plots below using the Titanic data frame. Okay, there are very few hints. Okay, so I have already given you the plot here, but you need to write the code for that. Okay, here also I given the plot. I want you to write the code for that. Okay, again it is very simple, which you have already gone through that in the our Seaborn introductory by IPython notebook. Just I want to you to do that and just make your hands dirty. Okay, and I'm not asking you to do any kind of analysis here. Just plot the graphs, what is expected in the cells. Okay, so this is about the Seaborn exercise. And if you just if you can go to this penguin visualization. Okay, so which I have done it for you. There's a penguin data set. Similarly, how we did for data science, here also I'm just doing the performing the data visualization techniques for the using seaborn and matplotlib. Okay, understanding the data set, explore the data set. Okay, then I use the pypart where I want to showcasing the what kind of classes, how the class distribution happens, all that. Okay, and scatter plot, then the histograms. Just take a look. Okay, and try to explore and let me know. This is a pair plot which we are doing it in the matplotlib. Similarly, I can do it in the SNS, but this is quite interesting. So this the completely change happens because we set a here we are not set that. Okay, we can set the styles for this. Okay, for every graphs. And okay, that's not much important, but still nicely you can get the graphs in the seaborn. Okay, this also heat plot means basically for the correlation is very important for us, how each variables are correlated and how much they are correlated. If the one is there, they are highly correlated because one the same data, but negative or a positive. So that you have to see. For example, if this is a lower, the black indicates that they're very low correlated. You have to go up. You have to see the very light color. For example, this is 87 means that this is the flipper length and one more the last attribute, they are highly correlated. Means that they, uh, always you can, if they are highly correlated, there is no need to retain the all the variables. Okay, for our analysis unnecessarities. Okay, fine. It's all about the this case study on the penguin. Just take a look and let me know if you have any questions on that. Okay. So let me come back to the. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, Pawan and Vinay. So from tomorrow we'll start the statistics.
No questions, sir.
Okay. Are we good to close the call today?
That's sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Pawan. Thank you, Vinay. Bye. Let me know if you have any questions. I will share it on the GitHub.